try to get through this without totally breaking down. I've not had my moment yet. And I'm trying to keep those floodgates closed as much as possible, which is why I don't want to talk on a live, okay? I don't. And I made a promise to everybody to be open and honest and raw and emotional and all the things and show everything good, bad, and ugly about this addiction journey we're on. So I'm going to make this video instead. And it's not one that I want to make. But here we go. So I hope you guys can hear me. I don't have my microphone on or anything like that. I'm just sitting out here thinking. I'm at my garden. I'm just sitting here thinking. Got the barn cats all at my feet. And I'm processing what I saw, processing what I felt, processing the whole day yesterday. And yeah, my day looked a whole lot different yesterday. We noticed something off the night before last. And so the plan was for me to, and I hope you guys can hear me, I really do. The plan was for me to have a conversation with Joseph when he got out of bed yesterday. And his wife left, she went to go to work. Paps was going to work, of course, so it was just me, him, and Aiden. And I told Paps that I was going to prepare myself. I'm going to change hands. That I was going to prepare myself for the conversation that I was about to have. And then I'd go wake him up. So about 12:15, 12:30-ish, I set Aiden down at the computer, and he had his little headphones on. He was doing school. He was doing all that. And I told him, I said, Nanny needs you to stay in here. I've got something I've got to do, so I need you to stay in here for a little bit, and Nanny will be back. And he said, okay. And he does really well with that, okay? And I may have to go in so that you guys can hear me. I don't know. There's nobody here right now except me and Joseph. And we'll get to that. And I thought Joseph was snoring really loud, okay? Like extremely loud. And I went in there and I said, hey, nothing. I went over and I shook him. Nothing. I started shaking him harder and realized really quickly he was overdosing. Don't know. We still don't know what he did. We don't know we don't know any information yet. Sorry. I tried my best to get him to respond, to get him to just wake up. Just wake up. And I kept screaming at him, you know, Mama loves you. Joseph, can you hear me? Joseph, what did you take? Joseph, what did you do? He was having seizures. And I didn't realize that's what the movement that he was doing. I didn't realize that until the EMTs got here. I tried cold rags. I tried everything in the world, y'all, to bring him back around. Uh, nothing. 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 Nothing I did. And I told him, I said, Joseph, Mama's going to call 911. Do you hear me? Can you respond to me? Joseph, I'm calling 911. Do you understand? Nothing. So I called 911. And as soon as I hung up with them, I called his wife, told her to get home. I called Paps, told him, just get home now. He said, what's going on? And I said a few words and just get home now. It took about 30 minutes for the first set of police to get here. And during this time, I go check on Aiden, make sure he's good, tell him stay in here, Nanny will come get you in a little bit. And I'm checking on Joseph back and forth, and I'm like, just hold on, they're coming, just hold on. The first set of cops pulled in here. They slid into my driveway. And the next thing I know, I get him back there to his room. They're trying to, wake him up. They can't. They're telling him that if he doesn't respond, they're going to hit him with Narcan, all the things. And Narcan did not touch it. Did not touch it. He got 2 doses of Narcan yesterday. And it did not touch anything. But the next thing I know, my yard is full of cops and first responders and ambulances. But y'all, it took them 45 minutes to get here. It took the ambulance 45 minutes. By the time they got here, Paps was home. He works about 40 to 45 minutes away. He was home. She was home from work. And I stood there and I watched them. I watched them work. The EMT said that Joseph's pupils were huge and that he was clenched tightly. And I saw them working on my baby. And then the next thing I remember, it's all a blur. But the next thing I remember is they're carrying him out in a pouch because the stretcher, they couldn't get the stretcher in close enough or something. I don't know. And they set out in the yard and they worked on him for what seemed like an eternity here, just trying to get him to respond. They got nothing. They got absolutely nothing. So they took him to a little hospital here in the area. Big mistake. Big mistake. They did the EKG. They did blood work. They took a urine sample. And Kelly and Paps went to get them a cup of coffee. And when they came back, my child was sitting in the waiting room, naked, except for a hospital sheet and an adult diaper. And the diaper was soiled. They turned him out of there, still completely out of it, unable to hold his eyes open or put a sentence together or anything else. And they escorted him out of the room in the emergency room out to the lobby and sat him down to wait on them. Can you imagine how dehumanizing that is? To be set out there in that shape, pretty much naked. Can you imagine? They did nothing for my child. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He had to walk out in the parking lot like that. Okay? He had to get in the car. He had to walk out to the parking lot, get in my car, and ride home and walk in the house like that. All because he has no insurance, he has no money, and he's an addict. And in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and I really don't care what anybody else says, they made him feel like a dirty addict. That's what they saw him as, and that's how they treated him, and that's how they made him feel. He is still pretty much unresponsive as far as talking and things like that. Still don't know what he took. Still don't know what happened. Still don't know. No information whatsoever. The police that were here, and there were a bunch of them. I think we had every cop in the county here. They told Paps that so many of them showed up because this has been happening a lot in the county here lately. And y'all, the obituaries show that every single day. And it's people around Joseph's age, and it very well could have been him. Yesterday, what I thought was loud snoring was him aspirating and choking. He was on his back. I couldn't get him off his back. I could not move him. He was so rigid, I could not move him. I never want to go through this again. But I know that it's totally up to him as to whether or not I do. They said that once he did come to at the hospital last night, that he was begging for mama. I didn't go to the hospital. I stayed here with Aiden. And as far as Aiden is concerned, y'all, he did so good. He stayed in the bedroom while everything was going on, and then I went and got him after everybody was gone. And the only thing he knows is that Daddy's sick, and Daddy was at the hospital, and Mom and Paps were out there with him, and we were here holding the fort down. So no, I didn't go to the hospital. I needed to process what I needed to process. And I'm still working on that. So that's where we're at today. We're still waiting. The wind's picking up. Storm's coming in. We're still waiting on him to wake up, become lucid again, so that we can talk, get information, find out what happened. Oh my gosh, y'all. Spider. That's where we're at today. Don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Just keep me and the family in prayers. It scares me to death to be here by myself with him right now. But things still have to be taken care of. Life has to go on, right? It has to go on. Hug your loved ones, because you never know when it's going to be the last time. I don't know all the feelings. My mind is just a jumbled up mess today. My heart is a jumbled up mess. I don't know if I'm coming or if I'm going. There's things I need to be doing, but y'all, I just don't have it in me to do it right now. I just don't. And like I said, I'm trying to keep the floodgates closed, because once they are open, there is no controlling any of it. And I have to process again what I saw and what I went through yesterday. I never want to see my child like that again. Never. No mama should ever have to go through that. Nobody, period, should ever have to go through that. But anyway, that's all I can tell you guys for now. That's all I can say. I took a breath, y'all. I took a breath.